After the age of 60, our body doesn't work the same way it did when we were younger. What once helped us stay fit and energetic might now lead to discomfort, chronic illnesses, or even serious health problems. You've probably heard your whole life that vegetables are always good for you. Doctors, dietitians, health experts, they all say eat your greens. But what if I told you that's not entirely true for seniors? What if some vegetables, which seem healthy on the surface, are quietly hurting your bones, your digestion, or even your brain? What if those green and colorful items on your plate are contributing to your arthritis, kidney problems, or bloating? Yes, not all vegetables are created equal, especially for people in their golden years. Some vegetables can trigger inflammation. Some contain compounds that block nutrient absorption. Others mess with your digestion and may even make chronic health problems worse. And the worst part? Most seniors eat these vegetables regularly thinking they're doing something good. In this video, we're going to break down the truth. No myths, no sugarcoating, just the raw facts. We'll walk you through 3 common vegetables seniors should avoid or eat in very limited amounts, explain the real reasons why these cause trouble, what science says about them, and what better alternatives you can consider. And the ones on this list? They're not exotic or rare, they're right there in your kitchen, in your fridge, or on your dinner table. This is not fear-mongering, this is awareness. If you're over 60 or care for someone who is, knowing what not to eat is just as important as knowing what to eat. Every choice matters. A few tweaks in diet can make the difference between energy and fatigue, between independence and reliance. So let's begin this deep, eye-opening journey into the 3 vegetables that could silently be making life harder for seniors. Yes, tomatoes. The bright red, juicy, and often celebrated vegetable or fruit, if we're being technical. Used in pasta sauces, salads, sandwiches, soups, and even juices. They're rich in lycopene, an antioxidant we've all heard is great for health. So what's the problem? Here's the truth. For many seniors, tomatoes can be harmful, especially when eaten frequently and in large amounts. Let's start with acid content. Tomatoes are naturally acidic. This is fine for younger people with strong digestion. But as we age, our digestive system becomes more sensitive. The stomach lining thins out. Acid reflux and heartburn become more common. Tomatoes, due to their high levels of malic and citric acid, often worsen these symptoms. If you're experiencing acid reflux, bloating, or frequent indigestion and you eat tomatoes regularly, there's a high chance they're part of the problem. But that's just the surface. Let's talk about inflammation, especially joint inflammation like arthritis. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family, a group of plants that include potatoes, eggplants, and peppers. Nightshades contain a chemical called solanine. Solanine has been linked to increased inflammation in sensitive individuals, particularly those with joint problems. While not everyone reacts to nightshades, many seniors with osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, or general joint pain notice that their symptoms get worse after consuming tomatoes or tomato-based products like ketchup, pizza sauce, or canned tomato soup. And it doesn't stop there. Many seniors also deal with kidney issues or are on potassium-restricted diets. Tomatoes, especially cooked and concentrated ones like tomato paste or sauce, are very high in potassium. For people with weakened kidney function, too much potassium can lead to dangerous heart rhythms, muscle weakness, and fatigue. Doctors often advise patients with chronic kidney disease to limit tomato consumption. And then there's the issue of gut irritation. The small seeds and the skin of tomatoes can irritate the colon, especially in those with diverticulitis or irritable bowel syndrome. Seniors are more prone to these conditions, and consuming tomato-heavy meals can trigger flare-ups. Now think about how many tomato-based foods we consume. Spaghetti sauce, Indian gravies, sandwiches with tomato slices, burgers, salsa, even tomato juice in the morning. It's everywhere. And while a little now and then might not be a problem, consistent daily intake could slowly chip away at your comfort and health. So what can you do instead? Swap tomatoes for pumpkin, zucchini, or red bell peppers in moderation. Use herbs and olive oil to add flavor to dishes instead of relying on tomato-based sauces. And if you absolutely love tomatoes, try removing the seeds and skin and cooking them well. This helps reduce their acidic effect and makes them a bit easier to digest. The goal isn't to create fear, but to offer clarity. Tomatoes are not evil, but for many seniors with acid reflux, arthritis, or kidney issues, they're a silent enemy. And now, if tomatoes surprised you, just wait until you hear about the next vegetable. It's even more common. It's often labeled as a weight loss vegetable. And it hides a substance that actually blocks your body from absorbing calcium and iron. Vegetable 2: spinach, the irony of healthy. Yes, you heard it right. Spinach, the leafy green powerhouse loved by fitness trainers, doctors, and dietitians, might not be as harmless as it seems, especially for seniors. Let's clear something up first. Spinach is packed with nutrients like iron, vitamin K, folate, and magnesium. That's true, but here's the catch. All these benefits come wrapped up in a package that also contains oxalates, and that's where the real problem begins. So what are oxalates? Oxalates or oxalic acid are natural compounds found in many plants, especially leafy greens. Their job in nature is to help plants defend against pests and diseases. But in the human body, especially in older adults, oxalates can become quite harmful. They bind with calcium in the gut and form crystals which can build up over time in your kidneys. These are called calcium oxalate kidney stones, and spinach is one of the top offenders. In fact, spinach has one of the highest oxalate levels of all foods. For a healthy 30-year-old with perfect kidney function, eating spinach smoothies daily might not cause immediate problems. But for seniors, especially those with slower kidney function, osteoporosis, or a history of kidney stones, this can be dangerous. Imagine this. You're eating a diet rich in calcium, maybe from supplements or dairy, thinking you're supporting your bones. But if you're also consuming spinach frequently, that calcium might not even be reaching your bones. It could be binding with oxalates in your intestines and turning into kidney stones instead. You end up losing calcium instead of absorbing it. But there's more. Spinach also contains goitrogens, compounds that interfere with thyroid hormone production. These can be a concern for people with thyroid issues, particularly hypothyroidism, which is very common among seniors. While cooking reduces goitrogens to some extent, raw spinach, the kind people often put in smoothies or salads, can still pose a problem if eaten too often. And what about iron? Everyone thinks spinach is a great source of iron, but again, it's non-heme iron, which is not as easily absorbed as heme iron found in animal products. And the oxalates we talked about earlier, they also block iron absorption. So even though it looks like you're getting a lot of iron from spinach, your body might be absorbing very little of it. This can be especially troubling for seniors, who already struggle with low energy, fatigue, and sometimes borderline anemia. Now let's touch on digestive issues. Spinach is high in insoluble fiber, which can be hard to digest for people with sensitive stomachs. It might cause bloating, gas, or even diarrhea when eaten raw or in large amounts. Seniors with irritable bowel conditions, diverticulosis, or general slow digestion may find their symptoms worsen after eating spinach salads or green juices. You may be thinking, so do I have to give up all leafy greens? Not at all. The goal is to choose smarter greens. Instead of high oxalate spinach, seniors can go for arugula, romaine lettuce, kale in moderation, or bok choy, all of which have much lower oxalate content. These options are gentler on the kidneys, better for calcium absorption, and still loaded with vitamins and antioxidants. Also, the way spinach is prepared matters. Steaming or boiling spinach and discarding the water helps lower the oxalate levels, making it safer for occasional consumption. But again, occasional is the key word. Eating spinach every single day, especially raw, is not recommended for seniors with kidney, thyroid, or bone issues. Let's recap with an example. Picture a 68-year-old woman who wants to stay active. She's read about the benefits of green smoothies and starts every morning with a spinach banana shake. Within a few weeks, she notices pain in her side and fatigue. A checkup shows the early formation of kidney stones and iron deficiency. She thought she was doing something good, but that one vegetable, spinach, was silently working against her. Vegetable 3: potatoes, a senior's comfort food with a hidden cost. Now we come to a vegetable that's a staple in nearly every household: potatoes. Whether mashed, fried, boiled, or baked, potatoes are one of the most commonly eaten vegetables in the world. They're filling, comforting, and a regular part of lunch and dinner across generations. But for seniors, potatoes can be one of the most problematic vegetables of all. Let's break it down. Potatoes are a part of the nightshade family, like tomatoes, and as we discussed earlier, this group contains solanine, which can trigger inflammation in sensitive people. For many seniors already battling arthritis or joint pain, regular consumption of nightshades, especially potatoes, can make pain and stiffness worse. But inflammation is just one part of the problem. The bigger issue lies in how potatoes affect blood sugar. Potatoes are rich in starch, which is a type of carbohydrate that breaks down into glucose sugar in the body. The glycemic index of potatoes is high, meaning they cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels shortly after being eaten. For seniors, especially those who are pre-diabetic, diabetic, or struggling with insulin resistance, this can be a serious issue. These sugar spikes can lead to fatigue, mood swings, and long-term damage to organs. Over time, poor blood sugar control is linked to a higher risk of vision problems, nerve damage, and kidney issues, all of which seniors are already more prone to. You might be thinking, but I don't eat French fries or chips, I only eat boiled potatoes, isn't that safe? Sadly, even boiled white potatoes still have a high glycemic index. And when mashed or baked, the glycemic index becomes even higher. Let's make it real with a simple scenario. An older man in his 70s starts his day with toast, has mashed potatoes for lunch, and enjoys a potato curry for dinner. On paper, it looks harmless. He's not overeating or snacking on junk food. But by the end of the day, his blood sugar has spiked multiple times, his insulin levels have surged, and the extra sugar is stored as belly fat. The result? Weight gain, energy crashes, and higher risk of type 2 diabetes, all caused by what seemed like just some potatoes. But there's more. Potatoes also offer very little in the way of fiber, protein, or essential fats. They're mostly empty calories, and while they might fill you up, they don't nourish your body the way other vegetables can. And for seniors who often eat less and rely heavily on every meal to provide essential nutrients, potatoes are a missed opportunity. Even more alarming is the issue of acrylamide, a chemical that forms when starchy foods like potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, such as in frying or baking. Acrylamide has been classified as a potential carcinogen, and though more research is needed, it's another reason to think twice before indulging in crispy potato snacks or roasted wedges. And let's not forget nerve health. Potatoes are naturally low in vitamin B12, but some potato-heavy diets may lead to B vitamin imbalances in the body, especially if seniors aren't supplementing or getting enough from other foods. Vitamin B deficiencies can cause tingling, numbness, memory loss, and muscle weakness. Symptoms often blamed on aging but actually caused by nutritional imbalances. So what are the alternatives? Instead of white potatoes, seniors can go for sweet potatoes in moderation. Though they also contain starch, sweet potatoes have a lower glycemic index, more fiber, and more beta-carotene, which is great for the eyes and immune system. Other better choices include cauliflower mash, roasted carrots, or steamed green beans with olive oil and herbs. Even better, combining these lower-carb vegetables with healthy fats like avocado or nuts can help stabilize blood sugar and reduce cravings. Let's be honest, giving up potatoes completely might be hard for many, but being aware of their effects and limiting them to once or twice a week, paired with plenty of fiber and protein, can help reduce their harmful impact. To recap, while potatoes are often treated as a harmless side dish, they could be silently spiking your blood sugar, triggering joint pain, and contributing to long-term complications that seniors cannot afford. Smart swaps, better choices, and what to eat instead. By now you understand that even popular vegetables like tomatoes, spinach, and potatoes can do more harm than good for many seniors. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up healthy eating. You just need to make smarter choices that support your aging body, not stress it out. Let's walk through better alternatives, along with a few food combinations that help reduce inflammation, protect your kidneys, stabilize blood sugar, and support bone and joint health. First, tomato replacements. Instead of acidic, inflammation-triggering tomatoes, seniors can enjoy red bell peppers, roasted or steamed, which are lower in acid and rich in vitamin C. Pumpkin or butternut squash. Puree is great for sauces and soups. Cooked carrots blended into sauces are mild on the stomach and add natural sweetness. Beetroot in moderation adds color and earthy flavor with powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. If tomatoes are hard to avoid, peel them, deseed them, and cook them thoroughly to reduce acidity and make them easier on the gut. Second, spinach replacements. Instead of spinach high in oxalates and goitrogens, try these leafy alternatives. Arugula, also called rocket, is peppery and great in salads with much lower oxalates. Romaine lettuce is crunchy and rich in folate. Baby kale, lightly steamed, is more tolerable than mature kale. Swiss chard, in moderation and cooked well, is another option. Avoid raw due to similar oxalate content, but cooked forms are milder. If you still want to eat spinach, steam or boil it and don't consume it daily. Avoid combining it with calcium-rich meals, which could reduce your calcium absorption. Third, potato replacements. To avoid blood sugar spikes, inflammation and nutrient voids, replace white potatoes with sweet potatoes in moderation, lower glycemic index rich in fiber and beta-carotene. Cauliflower, mashed or riced, is a great potato substitute with fewer carbs. Turnips or parsnips roasted are flavorful, fiber-rich alternatives. Zucchini or squash are gentle on digestion and support weight management. If you eat potatoes occasionally, pair them with healthy fats like olive oil or avocado and protein to slow sugar absorption. Bonus senior-friendly veggies to add: green beans, easy to digest and low in oxalates. Asparagus, which is diuretic and supports kidney health. Broccoli, which supports bone health and detoxification. Mushrooms, great for immunity and taste without starchy carbs. And remember, how you cook your vegetables matters. Avoid deep frying, it adds harmful fats and forms acrylamide. Steam, roast or lightly sauté, these methods preserve nutrients and keep the dish digestible. Use herbs like turmeric, ginger and parsley. They're natural anti-inflammatories that support senior health.